people don't burn out because of doing too much, but people burn out because life makes them forget why they're doing it. So my why was strong. My why was understood. Like I knew why I was doing it.
When work starts getting very demanding, you're able to at home still have stuff that, like, what's the minimum that needs to happen for your house to be sustained?
Step right in the vibe, feels right. Faith and fitness take the spotlight.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Welcome to the Exponential Life Podcast, where we help you to build the life you desire, one system at a time. I'm Justin.
And I'm Andrea. And here we focus on the 5 pillars: faith, fitness, family, finance, and freedom. So some of y'all might realize that my voice sounds kind of funny today. So I want to ask y'all a question. It's a serious question.
Oh,
so,
Lord.
On the onslaught of symptoms, how can one tell when it's a sinus infection versus an actual cold? Because some people say they have a sinus infection, and next thing you know, you got something spreading around the house. Hence my voice. Sounds funny.
I just have allergies and she has a weak immune system.
You said it was sinuses.
Sinuses, my sinus cavities and all that stuff, something like that. All things work together.
Either way, you
I'm
know
not a
how he
doctor.
sounds
I'm not a
versus
doctor.
how I sound. There is a difference. A major difference. And
because somebody does not drink the orange juice or do the elderberries.
I just want someone to
regular basis.
Someone to let me know. How do you tell the difference so he can mask up in his house to not spread his germs?
Oh, first of all, our kids had it
Please.
from the get-go. So let's not even start there.
But even with my kids, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I got this from you. I'm pretty sure I got this from you. Not our children. I'm pretty sure.
So, yeah, no. I'm going to say this. It just passes along the house.
And I would say I got it from you.
We all get, hey. Yeah.
I have limited contact with the kids. I work.
True, but they all up on you. They have contact with you. They run up on you, jump on you, sneeze on you, lick you.
Yes, which is nasty. However, I feel this is because of you. Absolutely, positively.
Oh, so we're not talking about all those germs I just talked about?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
Because when you think about it,
oh, all right.
When you think about it, at least
I'm thinking
6 hours of my day, I am in close proximity to you.
Oh, you might be sleeping?
Yes.
But when I was going through this, I've been sitting upright. So I was using a recliner.
But before that, I'm pretty sure you were contagious.
Oh.
Because you had a virus. It was not sinuses or allergies.
It's my thing. I try to protect her, y'all. So
does this sound like protection to you?
Does
my voice sound like protection to you?
When I get sick or feel any type of thing.
Hold on. Do I sound different now?
No.
Exactly.
I try to step away.
How about now?
From her.
All right.
To give her space so like she don't catch anything because
protection.
This
is what protection looks like. Not looks like, sounds like.
So this segues us right into the pillar we're talking about today, fitness. Today we're talking about burnout.
Don't forget what I asked you to do, please. Let me know how to tell the difference so I can avoid this in the future.
Understanding your energy. That's what we're talking about today. Yes. So.
See? Yeah, I got you.
As you see, the show must go on. We no matter what. Rain, sleet, or what's that saying?
I don't know because I don't say it.
Rain, sleet, or snow. Let's go with that.
Okay. Yes, because if it rains, sometimes I'm like, well, I guess we'll be at the house today. Yeah.
So, we've all experienced this before. I'm just opening up, switching into it, jumping into it. I don't know how you want to say it. We've all experienced it before, where you feel like you just can't get it right. I think about the movie. People who've seen the movie, they know what I'm talking about. when you feel like you just can't get ahead of anything, like you're just sluggish, you're out of, I want to talk to you about this because you were talking about, there's one thing you brought up. These symptoms can be one or two things. So, but burning out, everybody believes they've been through it at least once or twice. If you're in the working force, you have kids, you don't have kids, you out there grinding, and you just feel like you're just in a daze sometimes. You can't hit your goals. You're not moving. You know what you want to do, but you're just not hitting it. You're not collecting your thoughts properly. You're not hitting any milestones. You just kind of meandering through life, and you just don't know where to go. And like you feel like you just need a break. We want to make sure we separate this between, because there's two things can happen from that. Like you can have, it can either be just stress or it can be truly burnout. And so my wife, my lovely wife, has a great explanation of breaking that down, kind of like understanding like stress versus burnout. So we want to make sure we say this first. At the first thing, we want you to recognize what it is, and we're going to discuss how we've set these systems up to avoid burnout and to continue to be your best self, even when you're starting to feel sluggish. So catching it, finding it, properly assessing it, and then doing these things right here to prevent it, so you don't go back in it. I guess if I said it right.
I mean, I hope you did.
If not.
All right. So, guess I'm starting. So I guess for me, just stress versus burnout. So this is kind of like my terms, because stress, a lot of us feel stress when we feel challenged. And I will say that stress is temporary. Stress doesn't last. And you kind of learn what your stressors are. It can, and what triggers it, or what triggers that stress to start to occur. I also realized for me that stress says not always that, but it helps you grow. Because for some of us, when we get stressed, we figure out how we can get through it, make it easier on ourselves. However, constant stress can lead to burnout, because you can get overwhelmed. I actually looked up the definition of burnout on WebMD. And so it says, sometimes we get too busy and forget to take a step back and rest. That's when burnout occurs. Burnout is a form of exhaustion caused by constantly feeling swamped, right? So it happens when we experience too much emotional, physical, and mental fatigue for too long. In many cases, burnout is related to one's job, but burnout can also happen in other areas of your life and affect your health. So to me, like, athletes can get burnt out, even if it's not your job. Nowadays, athletes start very young.
Yeah.
I think they said youth sports is $1 billion industry. So if you start at the age of 4, like our daughters started doing, even our son started doing sports at 2. I mean, it was parent taught classes, but it was still, they were doing sports, right? And they're still doing them. There is tons of youth sports. You can start t-ball, you can start basketball, you can start soccer. And with the idea that some parents invest a lot into these sports, hoping that their kids will go off to college or go off and do whatever. And when you think about it, that can lead to burnout, because some athletes, they do that for years and years with no break. Some sports are year round now. They're starting earlier.
Yeah.
And so burnout is not just related to the job. Parents can get burnout as well, because we have a lot going on. There is so many things that can lead to burnout. So a lot of lessons that we've learned is how do you catch it before you get to a point, because burnout is longer lasting. Burnout, you can tell that you start to get unmotivated, you start to disconnect, you start to feel swamped on a regular basis, and then you're just like done. Like for me, I just shut it off. Mentally just shutting it off was my burnout. And then at one point I just didn't want to go to work anymore. And then so the solution for me was to manage it. For myself, can't say it was the healthiest, because talking about it would have helped, but to manage it was to change environments, because that was a good way for me to manage it at the time. I'm not saying that's a solution for everybody, because some people might truly enjoy what they're doing. and they don't want to move, but you got to figure out how to manage the stressors to prevent yourself from getting burnout.
I want to jump back to what you were saying about the year-round sports. I heard Cam Newton on his podcast talk about it, and I really like that concept because that's how I grew up. Just look at spreading around the sports. So like let them dabble in a lot of different things. This is just my advice, kind of how I look at it. Other people kind of on the same kind of wavelength to avoid burnout. Like I think changing the environment and maneuvering yourself and putting yourself in different positions, I think that is a way to help avoid burnout, and especially in youth, and especially in youth sports. Like not taking it so serious because just because the environment tell you to take it serious and you're supposed to be all up on it and you want to be the best at 6 years old, want to be the best at 7 years old. Man, these kids do a lot of growth spurts. These kids do a lot of change in the body develop. I didn't get fast until I got in my middle school years. Like I was slow elementary years, and then right around seventh grade, I started winning the field day races, and that's when I got into track later down the road. Like my speed didn't come into seventh or eighth grade. Like that's not like things happen, things develop, things change. Like and like to me, I end up running a 4.40, right? That's not something like that. That was clocked, like electronic clock. But once again, if you'd have caught me at 6 years old, you would have never thought I ran that. Like that's not something. Just take a beat also, and don't put too much pressure on you as a parent as well to like be the perfect parent. Also, I think these expectations that Instagram and Facebook and all these other things, and then read all these articles and read all the man. If you think about it, I always go back to this. Sugar was back in the day good. Sugar was bad. Sugar was good. Sugar was bad. Sugar was good. Sugar was bad.
When was sugar good?
It had some tabloids about it back in the early ages.
Oh, okay.
And it's like what I'm trying to say is like early age, but it's like things change, and like don't put too much on yourself, and like just we're talking about recognizing it. But I just had to put a plug in when you said the youth, the year round thing. Like there was a guy we went to college. There's a guy on my hallway. I didn't know him from Tom, Dick, Harry, right? And sorry, that's a country singing. I didn't know him, but a guy who I got cool with knew him. He said, "Oh man, this guy is a great soccer player. He's one of the top in South Carolina. I don't know why. Why is he here? Why isn't he on the field? Why isn't?" And it comes to find out he was just burnt out. And this is 2008. Like the dude was burnt out. Like he's done with it. He said, I'm not going anymore with it. He was doing it year round for years. And he said, I'm done. So he went to school, went for engineering, and he, off doing his thing. So even as parents, if we're pushing our kids in to succeed, don't mean they're going to do what we want, later down the road either. So like, what I'm saying to you is I feel sometimes recognizing also you're shooting yourself in your own foot. Like shooting yourself in own like sometimes you're putting more on your plate than you need to be.
And when it comes to our children or just overall?
Overall, like just youth sports, work, trying to be the best parent, trying to be the best person. Like, yes, we're all about bettering ourselves right here, but we also all about bettering ourselves inside a system so that you're not overwhelming yourself and you're being realistic too. I know that's off subject.
I mean, but I feel that also, to your point, when you look at that diversification that you talked about, Cam Newton mentioned, so you don't get burnt out, it's the same way in our lives to prevent burnout. Because even at work, when I was a manager, like trying to give direct reports some type of margin to do things they were interested in.
Yes.
Because if you're good at what you do, people will constantly come to you, and that can cause burnout as well. Because if you are I will get this done, I will do my best, I will yada, 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 you might find yourself coming in early and staying late, and that impacts other areas of your lives.
Right.
And so some people talk about work-life balance. One thing that I was trying to work for and still trying to work for is work-life integration, because is there truly ever balance when you look at it? Because sometimes work will weigh more than family. That's when you talk to whoever it is, who's your spouse or your partner, or it might not matter for you. And sometimes it's the other way around.
You're watching these videos because your life is chaotic, your life is upset, and it's a mess. Just like ours was. We have 3 kids, we have doctor's appointments, we have dance, we have gymnastics, we have our doctor's appointments, we have work, we have our other family engagements, So we just think like we can try to get it done. We want to build a business, we want to build investments, we want to build generational wealth. It just seems like we didn't have enough time to do anything.
Yeah, and I would even say for us, it felt like we were struggling to get our time in order, and we didn't have extra time to do anything that we wanted to do, whether it was spending time with our kids, going to hang out with family. We just had to cram it in a lot of times. And so I think that us being able to get on the same page and work together and have those weekly meetings that we talked about in some other videos, if you checked it out, that has helped a lot and tremendously. And so we're trying to help others get on do what we did and get on the one accord. And so that's why we put this freebie in the bottom down here, our little blueprint.
Yeah, our family system blueprint is there for you to just go ahead and get everything in order. Understand what you're doing, when you're doing it, how long it usually takes, and then position yourself so that you can have freedom. So on a weekday, we can do this video where we have kids, we have events, we have doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, and all on the same day, and we still can carve out time to shoot a video to build into our freedom category. That's what we're looking for.
And so we just want to share that with everyone else. We want y'all to have that same flexibility, that same ability, and that same space in order to build your freedom pillar, but not forget about the faith, fitness, family, and your finances, because at the end of the day, we want everybody to build systems to be able to grow exponentially.
I always look about I forgot what subject it was in school, but it was a picture of a pentagon, and depending on the inputs you put in, it would kind of like move. Everything was connected. So your 5 pillars, everything's connected. 5 pillars is your house, and if you're in the faith pillar and you're pushing heavy there, it drags other stuff that way too. So you pulling away from that stuff. If you're in the fitness pillar and you kind of really pushing right there, it drags the other stuff. And the biggest thing we're trying to teach with me exponentially and on this Exponential Life podcast is that to keep your house figure as, I'll make sure I'm saying this, hopefully I'm painting this picture properly, but to keep your house figure as close to the pentagon as possible. And understand when you do pull away from that pentagon shape, you're quickly coming back because you're recognizing that you're over leveraging yourself somewhere, and you do need to sometimes you do need to over leverage yourself sometimes. Like starting this up, I spent a lot of time for 3 weeks in a row on business, on freedom category, but I knew that I need to come back to the pentagon shape so that I can then make sure we're balanced, make sure I'm taking care of the household, make sure I'm coming here. So the systems are put in place that once you recognize you're over leveraging yourself, your systems in place to say, hey, I know I'm missing here, here, and here. You can recognize it and come back to your balance.
I mean, right then you talked about one thing you learned from, one thing you learned was, because you did, when you were getting a momentum and traction on the podcast, you did focus on this a lot. And it was okay. So you were focused on this. And we talked about management of the household. And then now we're kind of a little bit more to the pentagon shape for you. But did you ever feel yourself getting burnt out in that moment of the business part of it and the podcast?
No, I didn't. I didn't feel burnout because I knew my true north. I knew my what I was supposed to be at. So I understand where I'm supposed to be. I understand my purpose, and understood that I needed those 3 weeks to go to the business without slack. So where I'm usually let's do the math right. Let's do a simple math. I'm usually 50% of all 5 pillars, and she's the other 50% of all 5 pillars of the faith, fitness, family, finance, and freedom. Well, I knew I needed to become more 80% of the business or 90% of the business, so that I would take percentages from all the other pillars that I'm focused on. So then, but I knew that going in, we had that conversation like, hey, to get this started, to get this set up, to get this running, I'm gonna have to put enough energy, a lot of energy into this space right here. So I felt comforted in that space, in that. So the burnout piece wasn't like, it's not there. Also, also this, I'm glad you said that. I read this quote, and I'm about to go butcher it. Inky Johnson said it, but it's from someone else. But people don't burn out because of doing too much, but people burn out because life makes them forget why they're doing it. So my why was strong. My why was understood. Like, I knew why I was doing it. I was doing it to create legacy for my kids, and also I was doing it because like God put it in my heart to give this information out. Like, not, and so she had the idea, and it was part of me that God always wanted me to like give information out, put information out. So I knew why I was doing it. I knew why I was expelling energy, so that I didn't feel burnt out, because once again, I knew my foundation for all 5 pillars. And then I knew why I was doing it. And I knew that my timeline was like 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay, so a couple things there from what I'm hearing. The true north is the why.
Yes.
True north is the why. And then you knew it was temporary. So even though you might have had stress, which goes back to the beginning of the conversation, it might have been stress, you also knew it was a temporary situation. It wasn't like long lasting.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, and also I was grounded by I was grounded by my 5 pillars. So I knew where I was supposed to be, and also I knew what kind of coverage was there coming from your end.
Okay.
And keeping constant communication. So even if you're not with a partner, understand, if you got to grow in this area and really put some energy in this area, understand that these areas will be, they won't have your alls. Understand what is needed for your bare minimum in those areas to keep you afloat for those three months. And that's where the systems come into place, because we have our bare minimums. We have our understanding. I keep coming back to this, and I know people say, why you keep talking about this? But systems, establish your systems, make sure it's a good foundation before you're trying to really grow. Because once you establish your systems, once you establish your minimums, your bare minimums, you don't get stressed. Your house doesn't become a mess. Your life doesn't become a mess, because you're tackling all your bare minimums while you're focused on one of the pillars and really getting that like fortified and expanding it and growing it.
And so I would just say, so when he talks about the systems, what we call is maintenance mode, just getting our pillars in maintenance mode. But one thing that a cleaning system, the Fly Lady, that's one person that we looked at extensively. And in every system, you might have to change it up to make it work for you. No, you probably do need to change it up. It's not a might, you do. But the Fly Lady system, it just walks through every week. It talks about zone cleaning. It talked about a control journal. In your control journal, one thing it's pretty much saying, if you were to ever leave your house to someone else to take care of, they could kind of look at this book and say, okay, this is what needs to be done. So in our control journal, when it was just a book, right? We opened it, had a little picture on a picture in the front, had our last name to the control journal. In it, it was recipes that we know we liked, based on, so we can meal plan a little bit better. It had our kids' schedule in it, because when they're younger, schedules are super duper important. So we had our kids' schedule in it. So then if somebody ever came in, like a caregiver, they could see this is what the schedule was, this is what they could eat or they don't eat. Might have the emergency contacts in it. It had those things in it, and it just stayed in a drawer or somewhere we could access it. So when he talks about systems, even at work, I think systems are important, because someone once told me at work was, it's not as some people have life or death jobs, like surgeons and lawyers, depending on what they're doing. So I'm not specifically talking to you. I'm gonna say that now, but I would say majority of us are not surgeons doing life or death surgery. And when you think about it, some stress we just apply to ourselves, and our own stress, that stress we're putting on ourselves leads to burnout. And I say that because if you can put stuff in place to help you cope, deal with it, whatever you want to call it, that makes a huge difference. which goes back to those systems. So that, like Justin said, when work starts getting very demanding, you're able to at home still have stuff that, like, what's the minimum that needs to happen for your house to be sustained? That's it. And then you realize that's the season I'm in of life, and it's not going to last forever. And then you can just keep it trucking and keep it flowing and come out of it.
Yeah. So I want to make sure we are, excuse us. Excuse me. Oh,
Because it's sinuses.
We are keeping it practical too, keeping it very like straightforward. So I want to make sure you understand we're discussing recognizing like preventative measures, right? Understanding your systems, establish your systems, all 5 pillars, understand a minimum so that you know what you need to do and what you need to do and what you can do. And so you understand how much energy you can expel per day, right? That's understanding your breakdown your systems. And then once you understand that, like every day I need to, brush my teeth, wash my face. I need to work out for X amount of times. I need to read my Bible or read up on my book of faith. I need to spend time with the kids. I need to spend time with the wife. I got to go to work. Like those things are blocked. Like those are blocked off, or you know what you need to do. And then, all right, how do I keep it at a high level for each space? And then, all right, so next week, I need to focus heavily on business. So what do I need to do to make sure I still take care of each of those pillars daily and weekly and not feel left like I'm shortchanging them, but understand that I'm also putting more energy in this space. So having a plan, it helps prevent burnout is one thing. Now, if you don't have a plan and you are just getting into it, are you in the stage of burnout? Recognize it. Is it burnout or is it stress? And that's what she was discussing. Like stress is very short term. Burnout is something like you are being, just taken advantage of. I feel what I'm hearing from you is taking advantage of just somebody sucking in all your energy, just sucking up all your energy, and then you're just giving away all your energy to everybody else, helping everybody else out, helping everyone else's out, helping everyone else out, and not really feeding yourself. So you have to recognize, like, are you giving and no one's giving back to you? You're giving, and not receiving anything, any feeding back. Like you've separated yourself from your friends, your inner circle, and you're just giving to whoever is pulling from you. That can be family, that can be work, combination of work and family, combination of work, family, and friends. Like you're not being recharged. So to me, that's the burnout piece of it, right? And then also recognizing, like, have you forgotten your why? Have you forgotten your purpose? Have you been touching base back with yourself on why you're doing it? What's your purpose? What's your end game? What's your long-term plans? Like if you're not discussing your long-term plans with yourself, you feel like you're just being pulled all the other ways, then you probably are in that burnout stage, if I'm saying it correctly, right?
Yes.
So recognizing your burnout stage, we discussed, and then also preventative measures to prevent ever getting to the burnout stage.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
That sums up everything.
There's 2 things. And then there's one other thing we're supposed to talk about. I don't know.
I think I covered everything I want to talk about when it comes to burnout. So I'm good for today.
To recognize it, we show how to prevent it. And then, if you're in it, that's what we're supposed to talk about. If you recognize that you're in burnout, so we talk about preventing it, talk about recognizing it. But if you're in burnout, if you're in the burnout, just find 5 minutes to be grateful. That's what I would say. Find 5 minutes to be grateful and focus and pull yourself back to be grateful that you're alive. I'm just give you some prompts. Be grateful that you're alive. Be grateful that you're smart enough and you're valuable enough for people to pull from you. Be grateful that you recognize that you're burnt out. And then be grateful that you're about to give yourself space because you're about to do that now. That's your step right there. Be grateful, give yourself space, and and then start focusing back on your purpose and your why. Like there's a reason why you're this smart. There's a reason why you're this valuable. There's a reason why you work this hard for people to be pulling from you. Remember why you've done that. Like if it's for a family member, if it's for a bigger, not a bigger purpose, if it's for a purpose, like a grandiose purpose, like get back focused on that and then also find some way to give that to somebody who's not really pulling from you. Go find somewhere to help out. Find a place to help out somebody. Go find a place to just be free and not surrounded by the normal people who are pulling from you.
So I would say I would definitely agree with your why. I don't know if I completely agree with though saying find someone to give back, because if you already feel like you're depleted, why would I go to someone else and give that energy again once I'm finding it for myself?
Good point. This goes into the DISC assessment, right? So like, I'm glad you said that because I'm an I, right? I'm a person. I'm a people person. So when I shift, like say I'm over here at work and people just pulling, not being grateful. I feel like family members are pulling from me, not being grateful. If I go over and help this kids group, it recharges me because that's also something that I want to do. I love helping you.
Okay.
So it recharges me because I am a people person.
Okay.
So like find what recharges you. That's what understanding yourself. Find what recharges you.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I know when I was going through my phase, I really didn't want to be bothered. And even coming home, we would talk about the kids, and then we'd have to I've been at work. Now I have to come home with the kids. Have to be a mama because that's another full-time thing to do. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not trying to give more energy because when I'm done for the day, I'm absolutely done for the day.
So what will recharge you then? Because you're not like me. I'm a people person. So talk to the people and tell them like the people who aren't like me. What would recharge you?
I mean, for me, I know that it was reading books, just finding some more alone time. I felt that at one point, like last year, we were doing kind of weekends to ourselves. I know a lot of people don't do it, but one thing that we tried to do was I went on a trip with my mom to Myrtle Beach, did a Groupon, all that jazz, and we found a place we could stay. So we just really just chilled out, and you took care of the kids that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just things like that where I can disconnect and detach and just worry about me and not have to worry about anybody else.
I like that. That's reminding me to tell them like that. Find little techniques that work for you. Like we do solo weekends. Be like that. Well, she don't do because she likes that. She's not going anywhere by herself. She said so. She do her mom and her. But whoever your close friend is, you can get them with you. But solo weekends help you recharge you too. Like even though I'm a people person, my solo weekend I usually do by myself. And like I find like a cabin or something like somewhere off like by a lake or in the mountains, and I kind of just want peacefulness and like away, like around animals or something like that. And sometimes I'm like, it was a little sketchy one time. It was.
Hence, I don't go by myself.
I pulled up on a rocky driveway, and all my inner tingly feelings of my ancestors
Spidey senses
say turn around, because it was a cabin in front of me, and then I had to walk past them. It was a small little 1 bedroom cabin right behind them.
So it was like scary movie.
Yeah, I was like,
when you know you shouldn't go, but you got that one person that goes anyways.
Oh,
when you like, why are you doing it? So you're the person that went anyways.
I prayed. I was like, God, you sent me, because I try to allow God to I just look around and like one thing pop up at me, and I was like, God, you sent me here for a reason, and like it was low cell service too, and I was like, hey, if this, So
did it turn out fine?
It turned out.
I mean, you're alive.
It turned out great. It was beautiful. The people in front of me were like some European people. They talked to me, and I couldn't understand. It was not part of a language that I understood, but too much. But we said hey and had a little bit of small talk. It was near some great walking trails, and yeah.
He survived.
I survived, but I also said I'm not doing cabins like that again.
So I mean, along those lines, it's just mental health.
Right.
Because I think some people take mental health for granted. And so I would say, when I used to work at the hospital, one person would actually make the nurse managers, every nurse manager under them had to take off one day a month. And so now when we do our vacation calendar, we kind of plan for 1 day a month. We may get it, we may not.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, we know that if we take off a month and everybody might not get this, might not have the ability to do this, but figuring out when can I take a break? And the break is not being home with your children or with somebody else. The break is really for you to rejuvenate and recharge. So the break is, my child is at daycare, my kids are at school. I wake up and I get time for me. I drop them off and I get to go spend time for me, because you might not get a weekend. So how can you carve it out and make it work?
I'm going to jump in right here. And don't you let anybody talk trash and tell you you're a bad mom or a dad for wanting this break. Don't you do that. Your mental health is way more important than their opinion and whatever they got to say. Take that time for yourself. Like, like, you are important. That's why fitness is above family. If you aren't the best version of yourself, faith, fitness, then family. If you aren't the best version of yourself and you ain't taking time for yourself, and we talk about being sick and being under the weather, but we still have
he had a sinus infection.
But we still have the energy to do this because
I'm going to stop with my smart comments.
Oh no, you good.
No, it wasn't for you. It was more for me. I feel like I'm doing a lot of them, so I'm going to carve back.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, it was definitely not for
you. She said you're gonna stop, right? But just making sure you carve out your systems for your 5 pillars, and we go through like this. This is not a shameless plug. I'm not ashamed about this. Watch other videos. We go through the systems. These things work. They work for you. It creates the margin so that you can then recognize when you burn out. But also, the ultimate goal is to don't be burnt out at all. Like we're in the space where we're not burning ourselves out anymore. We are growing. We're building the finances. We're having healthy kids and enjoying their space and going to their events. We're at work. We're still excelling at work, and we're not overstressing ourselves. We have new adventures. We have new.
There's still stress.
I said overstressing ourselves.
Okay.
So yes, there's still stresses. Always gonna be stresses. Like I said, if you watch the ones prior to this, we have death in our family. There's always new stressors that coming through. But because of the system we put in place, we're able to find our true north again. Because we're always gonna, you're not perfect. You're always gonna make mistakes. You're always gonna like slide here and slide there. Because of the systems, you're like, all right, we wrote these systems down. Cleaning system, the childcare system, like the activity system, all that stuff, routines and everything. So we know what we need to get back to whenever we know what back up a second. I assume something. Everybody know when they're sliding. Everybody does not know when they're sliding because they don't have systems in place. Because you don't have systems in place, you don't know when you're sliding. So when you wake up and you look around and you really down in the dumps over here, is because you never knew at week 1 of your slide that it was a week 1 of your slide, because you don't have your systems. You don't have these routines, these activities are supposed to happen this week and you didn't do them. The only way you can do that is if you have the systems in place and the routines in place, so you can say, hey, I know I didn't do these this week, so next week I need to get back to it. So my bad for assuming. Not everybody knows when they're sliding. But once you recognize when you're sliding, putting the systems in place, give yourself grace, have gratitude, go find what makes you appreciative, go back to what your why is, find your purpose, and I'm done talking.
You sure?
Yes, I just really want to stress people, y'all. Like, this ain't a game, man. You get one life. Really, really, please, 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 I'm begging you, put these systems in place so that you can live a better life. I'm done.
And prevent burnout. No, I think I covered everything I would want to touch on about burnout today.
Yes. So.
All right. So, but I do want in the comments, I mean, I've already made a comment about the sinus versus a virus, which is the cold. But the serious one, the for real one would be, what can you put in place today that could help you prevent burnout or get out of it. And that's a serious one. Like, prevent it or get out of it if you feel like you're already there.
Yes. So it's not about building systems. It's not about doing more. It's about building better systems. It's even on the shirt. So go build your systems and make your life legendary.
Thanks for joining us. And don't forget, if you like the content, like and subscribe.
And share with others.
Bye.
Peace.